have made it to Stu and the Nunn, an online radio show that looks to inform, educate, and hopefully make you laugh. Stu and the Nunn is a show focused on national security, policy, politics, and selfless service. We do this by not only interviewing guests, but also sharing our own perspectives and asking you, the listener, to interact with us on our show chat room, via our Facebook page, and on Twitter. Like to thank those who make this show possible and allow us to bring it to you. Our show sponsors are Commodity Outdoors, Veteran Outdoors, Enlisted 9 Fight Company, Warrior Media Solutions, and BooHammer.com. There we go, everyone, and welcome to another show. The bell has rung. We are here, Stu and the Nunn, breaking out all the stops, new logos, new intro, and Toby's like, "What? You got sound effects?" I'm trying to make up for that 3-minute intro last week.
Never should have given Troy power.
Yeah, Toby got a bad connection.
Really,
you're a little
really happy though.
Yeah, you're a little choppy, buddy. But your video's kind of granular too. No. Yeah. Welcome, Toby. Welcome, everyone, to another episode, April 23rd, Stu and the Nunn. You'll see some new logos. We got our sponsors all listed up there. Veteran Outdoors, Commodity Outdoor Development Group, Enlisted 9 Fight Company, BooHammer.com. And we are all that. You see all that on the page. And my guest did some stuff to his Skype. It threw off my video a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna be good with that in just a second. So I'm not worried about that. But we got Toby, you got Troy. I'm in the northern studio, and Toby in the southern studio. How you doing, buddy? Are you there?
Oh, just have difficulties here, but I'm Bush League, so
I think your dial-up modem has dropped down to 14.4.
In the southern studio. Yeah, I'm basically in right here. I don't know what's going down.
Yeah, it has gotten bad. I don't know what happened either. We were rock solid just right before this started. I'm not sure where the anyways, so we have a big show lined up for you guys tonight, and I want to just start off real quick and say, hey, make sure you see the scrolling text on the bottom. Please go check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/Stu and the Nunn. Like our page. We're getting lots of good hits. We're getting lots of a lot of people viewing and watching the show in the thousands in the last several weeks. But our likes are, I don't know what they are right now. Rob, the unpaid producer, could probably tell us, but I think we're like in the 600 something, 630, 680, something like that. It doesn't make sense when we reach 8,000 to 10,000 people a show just on one medium. We have like 9 mediums that we broadcast across. Just on one, obviously the most important one, that we have the most popularity on Facebook, and we have 600 something likes. So notice that scrolling text. You're going to see it a lot. Like our page. Tell your friends to like our page. Keep up on what's happening. So, okay. So Toby, I don't know if you noticed, I am wearing, sporting one of my favorite VO shirts tonight. It's my Buffalo shirt.
That is actually, that's my favorite VO shirt. Well, one of my top 3 VO shirts. Veteran Outdoors, great organization. I believe the back is the Buffalo with the Alpha Mike Foxtrot.
Yep, that would be it. The Alpha Mike Foxtrot.
A little homage to.
Yep.
But
should I show that? Let me see if I can
apologize.
show that real quick. Hold on. Let me turn around and see if I can. You guys can see that?
Yeah.
The show?
That's sexy. You're sexy.
I don't want to sport the guns too much
man.
or not.
You're a sexy man.
Yeah, there we go.
But no, you would think. You would think with the 200 shows, this being our 200th episode, congratulations to you for the twin century of episodes, that we would have my technical difficulties worked out. But no, just to keep consistency, and I'm bush leaguing it. And
with their bush leagueness,
I got a ping rate of like 5.
Yeah.
Upload of 5 right now. It's supposed to be 100. I'm 95 short.
Yes. Need to call that cable provider and tell them you want a refund. But no, absolutely. Hey, yeah. So anyways, again, we talked about our sponsors, VO, Commodity, Boohammer, and List 9 Fight Company. Want to thank them. Big shout out to Shard over the Gear for Grunts also, and all that good stuff. But I want to, Toby, before anything you want to cover or talk about before we bring our guests on, we got a hot guest tonight.
No, I'm like super excited. We've been trying to get him on for a minute. I think it's timely for a couple of reasons. One, the industry that he's in. Two, the circles that he rolls in, because he's kind of a bit of a baller. And 3, because it's Thursday. And everyone knows on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the state of Tejas, you must do good things. You must do what's right. And that's eat tacos. And we got one of the best writers. We've known him for, it feels like forever, since like we're all old as dirt now. But we're having him, and excited to bring him out. So let's do that. You bring him out, and I'm going to continue to try and lick my fingers and put wires together, and like get some engineer tape or electrical tape and duct tape, and figure out this IT issue here.
Okay. Well. Yeah, we got, I don't have him on video, but I have him on audio. Taco, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh my Lord, we got bad connections with Taco too.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I wonder if it is moi.
Do you need recall?
We can hear you, but
we call me again.
We can't see you. And not sure why.
I only muted myself and I took the mute off.
Okay.
The camera's working, microphone's working.
Okay.
You want to try to recall me?
Yeah, let me
call again?
Give me 1 second. Let me let me blank that out. Okay, because I don't want to give up PII, personally identifiable information. So let me do that. I've removed yours and Toby's video. Let me go ahead. Let's go ahead and let me drop you and call you back, and see what happens here.
Sorry about that.
Hopefully it's not on my end. So I'll call you right back. Okay. Okay, Toby, are you there? You're there.
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
I'm I'm now working from my phone and an iPad.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that this is not something generated from my end, because I'm showing poor connection, and I should not with the connection that I have, unless there maybe is a certain someone that is Xboxing their butt off right now, and it could be causing something to happen. Let me make sure it's not happen. So I'm trying to bring him back on. And crushing my show here.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's Troy's fault. It's totally Troy's fault.
Yeah,
that's good to go.
It may be. Hold on a second. So closing out some things here. I don't know why we can't see you. We had you solid before, and you say your video's on. Do you see him, Toby?
I see him.
You can see him?
Yeah. I'm looking right at him. It's giving me the shaka.
Well, that is weird, because it is not giving me that good a connection. So apparently it's on my end. It is the northern studio with no snow up here, but I am getting bad connection. So, all right, well, 200th episode doesn't disappoint, does it? So the only thing I can think to do is drop it and call you guys both back to see if that makes a difference.
Okay.
But let me just drop while we get everybody on the air. We're going to just give us a second. I'm going to do that. I'm going to Toby. I'm going to call you. Then I'm going to Taco. I'm going to call you back.
All right.
Let's see if this does anything.
Okay.
All right. So, wow. We are, I'm going to take this all the way down a notch, and I'm actually going to shut off my Skype and bring it back up. Maybe it's Bill Gates. Maybe it's Microsoft making the thing. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us. I know we a little bit of a slow start, but what do you expect for 200 episodes? If we got it right, then it would just, we look too perfected. But let's see what we got here. I'm going to bring back up what we have and checking out all of my things here, making sure that nothing extra is going on that doesn't need to be going on. And all this stuff is paused and all that kind of stuff that we normally have not ever had a problem with. But, you know, who knows now? No, I just want to make sure everything is shut down that should be shut down, so we don't have any issues. So I'm going to call Toby back here, and here we go. You guys get the whole ringing and everything. Audio's better? Good. Thank you, John, for telling me that. All right. Toby, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're solid. A little bit of garble still, but that's okay. Let me bring in Taco. See if I can add him in, see if we can get in the video again. I don't know what, we had such good connection. It's something about when the show goes live. We go south. So we got him coming in now, calling Taco. And here we go. I think he's coming in now. He is on. Let's get him on video. I am waiting for that. Lord. Taco, are you there?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. Well, this is disconcerting because, okay, there you are. Now I got you. Okay. We're cooking with gas here. Let me bring, oh my Lord. Hold on, let me do a little bit of fixing here real quick. And fix your guys' 2 video, and we are live. There we go. All right, now we've got it going on. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being patient. Taco, welcome to the show. You're familiar enough with us. You know sometimes it goes this way.
Oh, hey, man. Best laid plans of mice and men. And we had everything going, too, like for 20 minutes.
We did. We did. And now, now I just lost your video. Now I just lost your video again. I don't know. I keep getting poor connection. You wouldn't know that I have gigabit fiber to my freaking house, but I do. Taco, you're in a hotel and you've got a lot better internet than me. I guess I need to make the phone call to Verizon and tell them I want some money back, because it seems to be on their end. But yeah, this is set. Anyways, we'll see if it comes back. We'll just keep talking. Hey, man, welcome to the show. It's been a while. How you doing?
Hey, good. Everything's kind of split up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, so I'm out here in lovely San Diego, and gonna hang out with you guys for a bit, and then head over to Coronado Island and see if there's anything open. But I mean, this place shut down tighter than you know what.
You think McPease is open?
I don't think so. I think everything's shut down.
The SEALs are out there just trying to put the virus up in their hair. You know, they're using the CVD-19 as a product. They're like,
It's crazy.
I love Coronado. Coronado's the home of Matt Height, old Froggy. You know,
oh yeah. I'd love to. I mean, I wanted to come out here and go to Kansas City barbecue. You know, in Top Gun, when playing the piano, he's like, "Take me home or lose me forever." And I mean, Meg Ryan back when she looked hot and smoking hot, and she's like, "You show me the way or lose me forever." I'm like, man, I love that. Oh, that was awesome.
And
that's it's Kansas City barbecue.
Yeah, Kansas City Barbecue, right downtown San Diego. It was a little hole in the wall dive bar restaurant that they filmed that scene where they're sitting there playing the piano and drinking beer and all hot for Meg Ryan, you know. And you're like, ah, man, before she got all that plastic surgery, and she looks like 1,000 years old. No offense, Meg, if you hear me.
Yeah, no offense. Absolutely.
Can you guys? Yeah.
Isn't she in the new one? Isn't she in the new one, like playing a cameo or something like that?
Oh God, no! They replaced her with somebody else.
Oh,
but
really?
I'll tell you what, I am so excited
Jane
to see
Fonda.
that movie. No, it's not Jane Fonda, man. She's like 1,000 years old too. No,
I'm just saying that because I get a rise. Everyone's like, how dare she be in a military movie?
no, man. I think Val Kilmer comes on, but you know he's got like a trachea, so he wears a scarf now because his voice is gone.
Yeah.
I think he had throat cancer or something. So I think they kill him off.
He sure did.
Yeah, I think they kill him off and fly him off into the sunset and do his ashes out of an F-14 or something. I have no idea.
Iceman doesn't make
That
it.
movie looks rocking. I mean, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't make it.
So hey, so you've been, how many years did you do in the Marines? Did you do 29, 30? Right in that net.
29 years.
Yeah. And
29 years. My dad told me to stay for one more and get 30. I'm like, no, I can't handle it. I can't do one more CFT, PFT, suck weight for a weigh-in. I'm done.
but you are still giving back.
No, that's kind of weight's the young man's game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
You guys see me?
you're still giving back. You're doing a lot of things. What are some of the things that you've been involved with since you've retired, and what are some of the ways that you are still very much involved in a community?
Well, you know, if you're willing to raise your hand, there's always a volunteer opportunity to be had. My wife rehabs animals, and we try to show the kids that it's great to give back and do things. They asked me once why I was always doing different things, and the answer is I came home whole. You know, I believe that I got to give back for the guys that didn't, because if I didn't come home whole, I would hope somebody would take care of my family or take care of me and invite me to a hog hunt or something cool. But no, I mean, we do veterans hog hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had killing hogs.
Yeah, we have. Oh man, we bring all these wounded guys out and take them up in a Huey and a small bird, little bird, and they killed like 500 hogs down in Ennis, Texas, with the veteran hog hunt. That's one of the fun things, and then we'll take the armor down there, the fox and the ferret, and give guys rides and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. Although this year I took it out there in the mud, in Texas mud, and I buried her up. The axles. I had to have a 4-wheeled combine tractor pull me out of the muck. It was pretty embarrassing. But
there wasn't like a Chevy 1500 available.
No.
I've got stuck in the old Texas mud, and yeah, I know you need a little bit more sometimes to get things out. Man, it is so good to see you. It's been a while, and we actually have one of my favorite pictures of you up on our page right now, which makes me smile. And it's a picture you were filming a World War II flashback scene with the armor.
Oh.
And, you know, you got a little blood up on your face, and you got the biggest shit-eating grin.
Well, you know,
I wish I had a couple of tanks just to roll around.
Yeah, you know, my buddy Tom called me up and said, "Hey, man, you want to be in this movie?" I'm like, "What movie is that?" Cronus. I go, "How much does it pay?" "Nothing." I go, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." And we filmed that one scene, that battle scene, for like 3 hours with the ferret. So we got these mud or big dirt hills, and I'm driving over this thing, and they're filming it, and there's a soldier running in front of me. And I told this guy before we even started, I go, "Do you have any life insurance?" And he goes, "Why do you ask?" I go, "I'm just curious, because if you're not faster than my ferret, my brakes give way. That's 4 tons of armor that's going to run over you. So I hope you got life insurance." Anyway,
he's like, wait. He's like, this is a union job.
Yeah. Man, he ran fast. I'll tell you what, he never fell. I told him, if you fall, make sure you fall left or right. Don't roll underneath me. That's all. I don't want you to get run over. But it was a lot of fun. They had an entire D-Day outfit, and I had my own M1. I go, what kind of weapon do you have? And they go, oh, we got this plastic rifle. And I go, no, I've got an M1 Garand. I'll bring that. So I used that. And the makeup girl put all this stuff, and I was just coming fresh out of a battle scene.
Yeah, what you're like, I brought an armored vehicle to this shoot.
And a rifle.
You're not giving me a rubber ducky.
Yeah. No rubber duck.
Yeah.
No, I had the full M1 Garand signed by RV Bergen and some other great people.
Nice.
Oh man,
it's pretty fun. I'm out in San Diego right now with the Military Veterans Initiatives with American Airlines, and we had a whole bunch of volunteers that would spend 4 or 5 hours in one of our guys, Randy Stillinger's garage, and we'd sit there and make these care packages because it started out all these Army guys were coming home and they're quarantined down in Fort Bliss. So we brought American Cargo, flew these packages out, and we're able to give these guys a big package full of snacks and stuff like that. So we hooked them up, and then we found out the Marines quarantined out here in Camp Pendleton. So we flew out and brought 1,050 packages.
Nice. So you are still giving back, not only on your own, but even with your company, right? With American Airlines, still doing things. Now I got your video back, thankfully. I guess the squirrels got off the line. So I got you guys both in there. But so that says a lot. Can you go a little bit why American Airlines does that? And it seems surprising they've been doing that now in light of probably losing. They're probably posting losses by the ton, like all the airline and travel industry is. What are your feelings that your employer like that is still not just giving back during the good times, but they're doing it during the bad times?
Yeah, I got involved in a lot of stuff that Military Veterans Initiative started years ago, and that was Skyball. Skyball would raise money for Snowball Express, where we bring all the children of the fallen down to Fort Worth and Dallas, and they give them a big week-long deal in Dallas. Now Gary Sinise Foundation's taking it over, and they go to Orlando. We also do.
So is that the deal where he just took all the families down to Disney? That kind of came out of their program.
So we've changed from Dallas Fort Worth to Disney, and that's Snowball Express, and then we do Salute to the Troops, where we'll take guys out of Walter Reed and BAMC down in San Antonio. We'll fly them out to Vegas. They give us 120 rooms to put up all these guys and their guests, and we have a week with the Blue Man Group, with Terry Fader, with Vegas helicopter rides. I mean, it is one of the most incredible. Clinton Black came out one year, did a private concert. I mean, it's phenomenal. And then we do all these trips with like Vietnam vets, and we'll take them back to the Vietnam Wall, or the World War II vets to New Orleans or to DC. Or we'll take I think the Vietnam vets we did out of Oshkosh, which was huge. Flew one of our 737s in there and brought them out. So we do a lot of different things. The company's always been very pro-military, which they don't get a lot of attention. I never understood that, why they didn't publicize it, but I would rather they do the right thing than try to make it a publicity stunt. You know what I mean? They do the right thing for the right reasons.
It's a double-edged sword, right? Because they should, if they're doing something great and not wanting to be public with it, that's admirable, but and honorable. But at the same time, people look to give their business to companies that do honor and do things for not only our military, but veterans, first responders, whatever. So, I mean, it's like, they don't want to just be publicized and say, look what we did, look at us. But at the same time, it wouldn't be bad to let some people know, even if in a more subtle way, that they're doing these kind of things.
Right. It's been an incredible experience because I work with all the Medal of Honor recipients when they come out, and we take these guys all around. We fly them on the airplanes. When we find out, like, guys will be on the airplanes, they'll print up their citations and put them on each seat so a passenger knows, if they're coming into. Now I know, like, Sal doesn't sometimes Sal doesn't want that attention. I understand, but it is kind of neat for the general public because the chance of meeting a Medal of Honor recipient is like winning the lotto.
Yeah, yeah. Our good friend Dave Bellavia flies quite a bit on American. He tells me he has to keep that little necklace bling neck bling handy all the time. And he told me I say you have to wear it. And he's like, he goes, yeah, you gotta, yeah. They walk me right through the airport with it, and because I get flights. They comp my flights. He goes, so
Yeah.
they got to kind of show me off, and he says that just comes with it. But yeah,
Yeah,
Toby.
but it's pretty cool. All the Medal of Honor guys, they've a foundation trying to do the programs in the schools to teach integrity and ethics and character development. It's pretty phenomenal. I enjoy being a part of that.
Yeah, some of that stuff, Taco. I just want to circle back a quick little moment. Like some of that stuff, the Medal of Honor guys, that's great. That's good publicity. But one of the things that I really do like about American Airlines and how they handle this is that they actually don't hype it up. And they're letting, and maybe I'm not using the right word there, but the Gary Sinise Foundation are definitely getting top billing and getting all the love. Not even the foundation people don't even make it to the third word. They usually just get to the Gary and then the Sinise. But the cool thing about that is they are doing it for the right reasons. And man, I gotta tell you, especially a guy that works in the veteran nonprofit charitable realm, whatever you want to call it, man, when someone knows that you're doing something cool, you get craziness. And I can't imagine how many requests for free flights, for free crap, for upgrades, for probably drink tickets, and that's, I like how they do it. They give it to the guys and gals that deserve it, that need it, to them little kids, them Gold Star wives that, lives have been turned upside down. Those kids that they're getting an opportunity to go to Disney now, the Snowball Express is a little bit different now, but, getting that opportunity to go to Disney and, for like 3 days, they got a prince
more
or a
like
princess.
4 or 5 days. They are catered for a phenomenal time. It's a great deal.
Yeah. So for 360 days of the year, these kids they have half a family, and for 4 or 5 days, whatever it is, like one of the greatest institutions in the world, Disney, that's built on making people happy, and in partnership with, a great airline, a great organization, and Gary Sinise Foundation, they do the right thing. And, like when I see that stuff on Facebook or the news and stuff like that, man, I get excited, because, like that's good PR. It's great. It's good storytelling, but what they accomplish on the other side of it is so much more. Just like, when you see like the Oshkosh deal, like no one even talked about the Oshkosh deal. Well, that's probably good, because those guys were probably seeing some of those planes for the first time in a long time, up close and personal. It's all emotional. The last thing you want is some jackwagon with a camera up in their face, like asking Billy how he feels seeing, a belly gun for the first time in, like how many times did he make his piece in that belly gun, right? And, I got the absolute honor and pleasure it was the Collins Foundation. I got to fly in Witchcraft years ago. I guess it was probably about a decade ago, and I flew it all the way up to the West Coast, and getting to be on that with some of those World War II guys and see them reacting. Now, I'm just a fan of the aircraft. I'm just a guy that might have had a model of it when I was a kid, and probably crashed it because it was a display model, not a functional model. But I was just a fan of the aircraft. But to like stand there and see these guys like reacquainted with that piece of machinery that they haven't seen in so long, and like I'm glad that some of the things, there aren't a bunch of cameras up in their face and people asking about their feelings and stuff like that, because they deserve better than that, honestly. Like,
well, you posted the bio on me from Purple Hearts Reunited, and I've been friends with Zach Fike for a number of years now, and that is one of the charities that, you're talking about, that connection that the warrior would have with his aircraft. Well, imagine somebody buying a dresser at the auction, and they go to stain it, and they pull in all the drawers out, and they find a Purple Heart down at the bottom of it that had fallen out years before and was at the bottom of the dresser. I mean, that's numerous examples of opening up a sewing kit that Grandma had after she passed, and they're going through it, and they find a bunch of medals. Well, Zach goes and researches and finds all these folks that they have all these genealogists from Daughters of American Revolution, and these guys will research the families and find the descendants. And then Zach calls them up, and he cold calls them, and he goes, "Hey, you don't know me from Adam, but this is who I am. Here's my website. You can check it out. I don't want anything from you except to return this medal to the rightful owners of this descendant, the descendants of this medal." And, you take a Purple Heart or something from the war and bring it back to a family. It's just really kind of a God thing in the connection. It's really kind of cool. I enjoy that a lot, because, and I haven't been doing as much as lately, and I need to now that we get some time off and the planes are wide open. But I would non-rev and fly out with a framed Purple Heart to do a presentation to a family, then turn right around, jump on an airplane, fly home on a day off. So it gets crazy.
So let's talk about airlines. To have you, we want you to settle our curiosities. You said that you just flew out to San Diego, and I can't remember if you said it on the air, if this was us talking before the show, but you kind of insinuated that that there wasn't a lot of people on the plane.
No, it's the airport. Airport is a ghost town, and the airplanes loads are really light, and we have parked hundreds of airplanes. So our schedule is only down to, I think, 10% of what it normally is. They're coming up. The airlines are coming up with all sorts of ideas on extensive cleaning throughout the cabin with disinfectant and different things to fix the issue of the fear of the boogeyman, because that's what it is. It's fear of the boogeyman, this whole coronavirus. And as soon as people realize that, you know what, I think I can be okay, they're going to jump on that vacation down to Florida. They're going to hit up, say, Grandma in Maine. They're going to go visit families. But we need to get people back flying again.
I was watching, it was a news clip. It was in China. And, the reason it made me think of this is the airline itself is that's only 50% of travel. In fact, it's less than 50% when you think of your time. Like you go, the airport 2 hours early for an hour and a half flight, and you're in the airport for another 30 minutes getting your baggage. So it's a lot less. But I got American Advantage. I got Southwest, Rapid Rewards or whatever. And, I've got these wonderful emails from both of those airlines, maybe even United too, talking about the efforts that they're taking, to make travel better. And you and I and Troy, we're guys that our work, causes us to travel. But I've yet to see anyone come out and be like, this is what we're doing in airports. This is the precautions that are being taken, in the airport. And I saw that thing, it was the Chinese, it might have even been in the Wuhan airport, I don't know, but they're they got these dudes in these biohazard suits, and they were fogging the place like they were trying to raise some bees. And I was looking for the hives in the background. I'm like,
this whole thing, okay, in the way that it's traveled around the world, and we have shut down our entire economy and crash the economy. We've done it. I mean, it blows me away to think how fast and how furious this went. I know that, I used to fly to Beijing and Shanghai on the 7-8, and I love that place. I love the people. I love going over there. The Chi-Com government, no. But the people, I love them. But when I ran into a buddy of mine now, I'm a captain on the 737, and I ran into a buddy of mine at the schoolhouse, and he showed me pictures of Shanghai, or actually it was Beijing. Nobody, absolutely ghost town. I'm thinking that place is more packed and dense than New York City. Where is everybody? Because there's nobody in the photographs anywhere that he was roaming around taking pictures. So what do these guys have, like 3 months of ramen noodles stored up in the closet? How in the hell are they surviving?
Well, if they're all dying, if they all died off, then that's why they're not there, right? Because how does New York City have, the hundreds of thousands of cases they have, and like you say, we've talked about on the show, Shanghai and Beijing are more populated than New York. It makes New York City look like a suburb. How have they escaped not having millions infected, which now today we saw the numbers that they're saying based on the sampling we did in New York over the weekend that they're projecting 2.1 million New York City citizens are actually infected based on the number of asymptomatic people that they detected over the weekend. They did 3,000 people from my side of the state over. And so now they're saying that. So how does Shanghai and Beijing, which had no travel restrictions, get by without probably tens if not hundreds of thousands of dead? Maybe that's where they're at.
Well, no, they shut down Wuhan. Nobody could go up to Beijing or Shanghai because they shut down that whole province. But they let everybody fly around the world, but they didn't let anyone go to the capital or to Shanghai.
But do you think that was since November? Because now we're finding evidence that this was that they knew about this in November, and they were, did nobody travel from Wuhan district and no one go see anyone as far back as when this thing originated? Is it possible they knew about it, that they locked it down that early?
I don't know. When he sent those pictures to me, I actually called my broker up and I go, hey, I think I want to pull all my money out of the market. And he goes, why? And I go, because if nobody's over in China making the toys that I go buy when I'm on my shopping trips, then it's going to have a ripple effect in the supply chain around the world. And he goes, oh, no, we're going to be fine. Okay. Oh well,
the Chinese toy bazaar indicator right there. That's that's better than futures or farm products or anything else or steel industry. Wow, that's a good sign. I mean, that's true though, right? I remember, and Toby probably do, and Taco too. I remember back in what was it? Probably January, February. They were showing videos of them, the Chinese police grabbing people and arresting them, throwing them in vans. Yeah. And I remember kind of thinking, man, they are just really cracking down on their folks, right? But now, and looking back at it, what's happening in this country, right? They're arresting people for not having face mask on, for a mother being at a playground just with her daughter, the daughter she lives with, and they're the only ones on the playground, coming up and arresting them, jerking guys off of a bus in Philadelphia. That video looked just like China in January. The same thing.
I'm walking around here and I've got my face mask because it's required. My wife made this. You like that?
Yeah.
So look at that
pattern.
I got wintertime pattern and I got summertime, right? So I got digi on both sides, so you can't see me when I'm wearing it. But my wife made this, and I've got the insulation, the HEPA filter stuff in there. But there's this dude out running, and he's running with the mask on. Now I walk around, I'm not even sweating, but I got the mask on. My glasses fog up. I'm thinking, how are these sons of bitches? How are these guys out there running with mask on?
Yeah.
There's just something wrong. You're outdoors. You're not going to catch the virus out running around. I don't know.
That's why you and I live in the best state in the union, Taco, like where our governor came out and like kind of gave it the fifth rule of the fifth principle of patrolling. It was like, and if you're running outdoors, it's probably not wise to wear the mask because you're going to overexert yourself. No, like some of the stuff is, it's really, and I've spent the past week and a bit really kind of calling around law enforcement friends and trying to get real intelligence and not in the beginning I was trying to get scientific intelligence, trying to learn everything I could about the disease and what it meant and what we need to do and what best practices and stuff. And as an infantryman, you're always planning on, the worst case scenario, the most dangerous course of action, the most probable course of action, most favorable course of action. And, like now I've just been like, okay, let's look at the legality of different things. And, the father getting arrested playing t-ball with his 6-year-old daughter, the mom getting arrested in the park, the dude getting yanked off the bus in Philly. That one really stood out to me because here's the thing: it's not like someone showed up at our doors and said, "Oh, here's your box of masks. You now have to wear this every time you go in public."
Right.
Oh, you're this whatever job. You're essential. You need to go to work. You're like one of the very few guys working right now. Your family needs the money. Oh, I'm going to arrest you for not having something that there's no way you could have got. The only way that you can get mask, and I don't even live in a very paranoid area. The only way you can get a mask is if you make them. Like they're not for sale anywhere because they're all sold out. Any store you go to, there's signs outside, no masks here. I was smart. Shout out to Dr. Monica Madre. She was teaching the ladies how to make masks out of Kendra Scott bags. And so I was like, I see your Kendra Scott bag and I raise you a Crown Royal bag.
I need one of those.
And so I got 2 Crown Royal bag masks.
Do you really?
I had to go to the UPS store earlier. Yeah, bro. I should FedEx you one or something.
That would have been a nice birthday present. I'm just saying.
Hey, that's a great idea. So while you're in isolation, you get all your Crown Royal bags.
Dude, I could equip the entire Marine Corps
my
with.
Daughter, she's like got the sewing machine for Christmas. I was like, hey, let's get after this.
Yeah.
I think there's a market here, and I just happen to have a small stock of Crown bags.
I could equip the entire Marine Corps with Crown Royal face masks. Let me tell you, I got a collection of bags. Yeah.
Well, my wife can make them for you. She's really good. She was out there with the sewing machine, putting the pipe cleaner in there to make for the nose part.
Oh yeah.
And then I was going to the Ace Hardware and getting the HEPA filters and ripping the metal off the screen and then cutting up the filters and putting those inside. So, hey, look,
you were taking that up a notch.
It was a tag team, man.
I heard about the pipe cleaner. I heard about the pipe cleaner. Yeah, I heard the pipe cleaner is the trick. It keeps it from fogging up your glasses because it lessens the chance of it fogging up glasses. That's what I heard. But,
hey, before we go, I got to talk about Ronnie Jackson. Did I tell you all about him?
No, yeah,
you sure did. But let's tell our people.
I know the name,
Ronnie.
but remind our listeners, who he is.
Okay, in 2005, I flew over to Iraq, and I was the assistant air boss in Al Taqaddum. And the guy that was on the airplane with me was a lieutenant commander named Ronnie Jackson. And Ronnie and I became running buddies. So we go out and go run around Iraq and whatnot around the base. And we get around this one part where the sniper was always taking pot shots at the Marines running. And I figured, who better to be running with but the head trauma surgeon? So if I get swacked by a sniper, this guy could save me and do whatever. But he's a good buddy of mine. And over the years, we've stayed in contact. As a matter of fact, he got this email. He goes, "Hey, President, you've been invited to interview to be President Bush's surgeon." And he goes, "Man, but how can I get back to Texas? Or not get back to Texas, but get back to the White House." I go, "Dude, I got you covered." So I got him on a air charter. I mean, we had the round robin going around every night, the 46s. I got him to Balad. Balad, I called in a favor to an Air Force guy. Got him on a C-17 to Landstuhl to Andrews. And in Andrews, he went out and he got his suit. And he did the interview, and he came back and goes, "I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I did all right." And I go, "Dude, you're from Texas. Bush is from Texas. You're going to be great." So he ends up being selected, and he goes back to be Bush's surgeon. And then he does 8 years with President Obama, and then he does President Trump. But you never hear of Ronnie Jackson until he goes up before the VA. And then all of a sudden, all the knives start coming out. And I've never been so mad in my life to watch that stuff happen. And now he's running for 13th District Congress. He got out of the Navy, retired. He's running for 13th Congress. So all you people in Texas that are in 13th District, you guys need to vote for Ronnie Jackson. He's a guy of integrity. He's a doctor. He's smart as hell. He's from Texas. And I'll tell you what, man, if you had to get shot, that's the guy you want operating on you. I saw him save more Marines and soldiers' lives, even Iraqi lives. That's the guy.
Well, a president's not going to pick someone that graduates at the bottom of their class and still gets called doctor, right? So for three presidents to trust their lives, I mean, so people realize, right, when he's a surgeon, the doctor. If he gets shot, if he has a heart attack, that's the dude. He has, the guy. He has full reign over any hospital they take him to. He knows that guy. He's the one that does the physicals, right? He knows everything about that patient. That right there yeah. What you got, Toby?
So this is how you know the guy is reliable. This is how you know he's a man of integrity. This is how you know that he can be trusted. So one, he works with the highest of office and the highest of our citizenship, right? And the president of the United States. But let's look at the two presidents that he worked with.
Three presidents.
So it's like, so I'm talking about the first two.
Okay.
Just the first two, not the last one. Just the first two. How you doing today, sir? Yeah, it's, great. I just want to ask you a couple, historical questions. Usage of, I don't know, like illicit drugs. Well, I tell you what, I did some cocaine, back in. And so he's like, all right, well, like I'll check that block, but I will never say a word about it to anybody. Then W partied.
Oh,
I lost you.
I just wanted to party at that kind of level at some point in my life.
Secret Service stopped you for a second. Yeah, they said, W partied, and you froze.
Yeah. But like, so he managed all of that, and he did it well. And then you go to the next administration, which is the polar opposite in terms of like behavior publicly. And you got the president of the United States who's a chain smoker. And it's like, well, sir, I gotta tell you that whole smoking thing, it's bad. And I remember there was a bounty out, with paparazzi and reporters and all kinds of people for the longest time to get a picture of or any information on Obama smoking.
No way! I could have had $1 million. He came over to Afghanistan when I was at the embassy, and the Secret Service agent and Obama were standing down in the corner because they wouldn't let him smoke upstairs. And so I come pop around the corner, there he is, and I'm like, "Oh my God, how you doing, Senator Obama?"
Yeah, you'd have been rich, son, because no one got it, right? So, but here's the guy. He's been trusted with all his secrets. He's taking great care of two dynamic leaders. Different and dynamic leaders. Then you bring in the third, and you that dude's hopped up on diet pills. He's drinking the Coke. The soft drink. He's not freebasing the illicit. And, dude doesn't sleep. You got to have those hard conversations hey, sir, you should probably, bed down every now and then. And to work that kind of personality, to deal with that kind of information, to be at that kind of disposal, that is absolutely a trustworthy person. That clearance, that ability, and to manage that shows the ultimate in integrity, the ultimate in discretion. And, that's crucial. And the way they came at him over the VA thing, saying he lacked the executive experience. And I just remember hearing that statement, he lacks the executive experience. It's can he run a hospital? Yes. So he understands all levels of healthcare. Do we trust him with the president of the United States? Oh, not one, but three. I think he's got it. If you're saying that he doesn't have the executive experience, then the only candidate to ever have the executive experience in the past, I don't know, 2 decades to run the VA is probably the one guy from Texas that has never gotten the nod and that wants it, and that's Rick Perry. You know, so like, if you're looking at executive experience, then you're never gonna check that block. But
Right.
no, I'm a fan of him. I think he's awesome. I think he got a really raw deal. You know, coming off the heels of Kavanaugh and all that other stuff, like it didn't matter. They could have put Mother Teresa up for, you know, the VA. And
Well, I tell you what, if you guys want, I'll call him and see if we can get him on your show. He is a phenomenal dude. You will absolutely love him. Your viewers will love him. And I really want to get this guy elected because this guy could talk circles around those idiots like AOC. I'm telling you.
Yeah. No,
that doesn't take much.
Yeah, I mean, I think he can do a lot better than that. But no, we've had a lot of folks on. We had a young, I think he was a Marine that's challenging Maxine Waters, wasn't it? Marine, or was that Kamala Harris? I think it was Maxine Waters that one guy was challenging, wasn't it, Toby? The one guy we had,
yeah,
someone out in California. Yeah,
It was Kamala. I think it was Kamala.
Yeah, we've had a number of folks on. They're vets. We've had folks in Texas. If they're vets and they're running for office and they're wanting to continue to serve and give back to the country, regardless if they served in the most critical medical position in the world, right? We're talking about the president is the leader of the largest country of all the entire free world, being trusted with that guy's life in your hands for 3 different presidents over about probably 12 to 14 years in total, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
since
like,
05.
Right. So that's who you want there.
No, actually, 06. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the guy you want.
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave you with this. You know what I do when I get on the airplane? I stand up, I grab the PA. I don't make a PA from the cockpit, from the flight deck. I stand up and I grab the mic and I'm looking back at first class and then back in coach. And I always go back first of all, and I go to first class, go, hi guys, how you doing? I'm Mitch Bell. They call me Taco. I'm your captain. You have any pilot questions you want to ask me? Because first of all, I want to thank you for flying American and all that. Really appreciate your business. Then I get on the PA and I tell the folks in the back, I go, hey, as I told the folks up here, I really appreciate you flying American Airlines, and my family appreciates your business. As a retired Marine, I just want to see a show of hands. And I'm looking through the tube and I'm like, how many Marines do I have on board? Raise your hands. And I always tell the flight attendant to watch who the Marines are or any of the services, because that's their known guy, right? That's the guy that you want to help you out.
Yeah.
And so I go, hey, do I have any Marines on board? And if I don't get any hands, I go, too bad, because Marines drink for free on my airplane. And all of a sudden, all these hands go up, and I go, hey, I found the Army guy. There's the Air Force dude. You must be Coast Guard way back there. Yeah, because you were late, you know. So I have a little fun. And then I'm always like, I'm sorry, guys, man. Last time I did that, 2 Marines drank every bottle of liquor on my airplane. Company told me I couldn't do it. But I just want to say a big round of applause for you guys. You're the fabric of freedom to make this a great country. All you Vietnam vets, welcome home. All the spouses, we love you for taking care of us when we're deployed.
Dude, that's awesome.
You know, and people.
Oh, yeah. They love you, I'm sure. That's awesome. Hey, I know we're coming up on an hour, but I do want to hit on a topic, and it's I don't want to end on this topic. I don't want to end on this topic because it's important. We just had the 25th anniversary of the attack on Oklahoma City. And the Alfred P. Murrah building, the attacker himself is right up the road from where I live now. I was actually, I remember when that happened. I was just coming off a road march in Fort Richardson, Alaska. I literally, it's one of those moments, right? Like we've all had when someone gets shot or something happens, 9/11, the Challenger explosion, you never forget. I just hit the hard ball coming off of the gravel. I just hit the hard ball coming out of the field, back into the main cantonment area on a road march. And like I shouldn't have been, I had an earbud in, I was listening to the radios plugged in, it was an early morning road march. And I remember hearing about that, but that was 25 years ago on Sunday. You had a personal connection to that, buddy. And I want to make sure, a lot of people, it's been a long time ago. It's kind of been forgotten if they don't live in Oklahoma City, if they didn't have that. But I think a lot of people that falls out of sight, out of mind. And I want you to kind of tap into that a little bit so people realize there's a face to that, right? There's a story to that.
Yeah. Well, hey, real quick, I got a notice. I saw Ronnie's watching you guys, so good to go.
Awesome. I see him. There he is. Hey, you're right.
So
look at that.
Yeah.
We got his number
Ronnie,
now.
Randy Norfleet is a C-130 buddy of mine. We served in Cherry Point at 252, and Randy was out on recruiting duty in '95, and I was flying back from Okinawa, Japan, when McVeigh blew up the building. You can actually Google Randy Norfleet's testimony because he gives a lot of speeches, and it's the most emotional thing to listen to Randy. I can get him on the show too. He's incredible. But Randy literally was sitting at Randy Guzman's desk, the XO of the recruiting station. He had just parked his truck next to McVeigh's U-Haul, and he walked out and saw McVeigh, and he saw the haircut, and he thought to himself, "Oh, must be a soldier or Marine checking in," because the headquarters is upstairs. He goes upstairs, and he gets up there, and he was doing something, and he goes over to Guzman's desk, and he picks up the phone, and he calls headquarters to check on a package. The phone's busy up at headquarters, Marine Corps, at recruiting command, and the phone rings. He picks up the phone, goes, XO's desk, recruiting station, Oklahoma City. "Hey, is Captain Guzman there?" "Yeah, hold on 1 second. He put him on hold. "Hey, Randy, it's for you." And the two of them swap places. Randy sits down at the desk, and Norfleet is in front of the desk, kind of in the doorway when the bomb exploded. And when it collapsed that fast, it blew him into the wall back behind him. He severed an artery in the back of his head and lost his eye. And a Marine, when he came to, had dragged him down the stairs, got him in the ambulance. An incredible story of him recouping, but he was the star witness for the government to put McVeigh in the chair.
Out there, because he saw him, he witnessed him.
Because he was the guy that saw him get out of the truck and run away. Not run away, but walk away. And so he was a star witness for the state. He was actually there for the execution too. But Randy is a good friend and just an incredible Marine. But yeah, we mustn't forget that was that was like the first terrorist attack. I think maybe in '92 the first one would have been the World Trade Center, where they blew up the bomb in the basement.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
But that was the first real successful homegrown terrorist attack, was McVeigh's attack there at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So many people killed. What a waste.
And
no, I have to say that if you ever get the opportunity, and this is to everyone listening, if you ever get the opportunity to go to Oklahoma City, you don't need any reason to go there other than to go see what has been erected in honor of this event.
I agree.
When I say in honor of this event, I'm not saying honoring what happened. I'm saying honoring how we lost something special. The innocence that America lost that day is definitely demonstrated in the memorial there. It is probably the most powerful. I don't even want to say what it is, because I don't want to take the impact away from it. It is the most powerful memorial that I've seen, more so than 9/11. And I know people are going to probably hit me in the DMs with some hate mail over that, like they normally do when I say something opinionated. But the Oklahoma City Memorial is one of the most touching, most beautiful, and is one of the very few times that when you hit it on the nail on the head, right? Like the Air Force Memorial at the Pentagon, the Missing Man Formation, like you get what that means, so you understand what that means if you're military. A lot of these memorials, like they don't make sense to some people. You're like, you got this cool reflecting pool, and so you look in the water and you think of stuff. The Oklahoma City Memorial is unparalleled on this planet, and they got that one right. And if you ever get the opportunity to go, you absolutely must go. It's the most powerful thing.
Yeah, if you guys ever want him, I'll get him wrangled on the show. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I know we talked about it in the past in the last couple of years. I remember we were chatting about it for a while. But I mean, it's not only was he just there, which would have been awe-inspiring in itself to talk to him and just know that he survived it, right, and was right there at the edge, essentially, I'm sure. But to be that guy, the one that looked McVeigh in the eyes, like you say, that placed him at the crime scene, right? Which they probably still could have convicted without him, but that had to be, there was no doubt, right? Even though they had all the other evidence that, I saw him get out of the vehicle and walk around. I mean,
Yep.
short of a camera getting it, I mean, you had an eyewitness right there, and that does definitely speak volumes. But and as you said, I mean, he is still, you know, how does he? I mean, I'm assuming it's been 25 years. I'm not saying it's gotten any easier, but at some point, is there coming to grips with it? Is it even possible?
No, I think, you know, he's very vocal about it. He's very vocal about it because he never wants anybody to forget all those that died.
Yeah.
He's very vocal about the fact that the reason he lived, you know, survivor's guilt, but the reason he lived was to promote those lives that were lost and to keep them in our forefront. You know what I mean? And great parents. He and his wife, their son's a Marine, married, got kids. Their daughter's beautiful daughter's a ER nurse. Just incredible family. Just awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Wow. Yeah, I just couldn't believe it the other day when it happened. And it was actually my son turned 2 on that day. My son that is now 27 turned 2 on that day. He was born on the day that Waco happened, and we were not far. You know, I remember when that happened. So it was just to have a real, you know, realization of 25 years since that day. Like I said, I remember exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing, and I can't remember last week. But it had that kind of impact, even though I was, you know, in Alaska at the time. But I used to live, you know, not too, you know, I used to live in Texas right before that, and obviously I used to live right down the road from Waco, so I remember when that. So yeah, it is a crazy thing. But hey, Taco, is there anything else? We've covered a lot of topics tonight. Is there anything else you want to make sure we cover, hit on, mentioned while we got you on the air?
Hey, guys, we got to get this country back together. We got to get back out there working. Everyone's got to take precautions, but you know what? My gosh, we can't be afraid of life, because a life lived in fear is just a half life lived. That's my opinion. Anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you for what you're doing. And I look forward to seeing you again. And maybe, hopefully one day I'll have you on one of my airplanes, because I'm going to call you out. And then I'm going to give you the Taco Bell treatment. I'm going to go, hey.
Free drinks.
Yeah, free drinks. No,
oh, dude, that'd be the one and only time I'll be like, yeah, I'm a Marine. Hoorah, hoorah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
You got a crayon?
Crayons.
I got my crayons right here.
I'll be like, hey, Toby, hey, I got a buddy of mine on. Hey, Toby, raise your hand. So you will raise your hand because you don't know what's coming. You think, oh, okay, cool, free drinks. And I go, hey, what you guys don't know was Toby in his prior life was an engineer for Boeing. And his sole job was to design the overhead bins. So if you have any questions why your luggage never fits, feel free to go up and ask Toby. He loves talking that geek engineer stuff. If he's asleep, wake him up. He loves it. Don't worry about it.
No, your better one.
I take care of my friends, man.
Your better one is to say Toby was the efficiency expert. He made sure we crammed another row of seats in there and took you down to 22 inches of leg room. But yeah, that's a good one. I will be the. I will
stand up and be like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'll leave you guys. Hey, thank you so much for allowing me to be on. Hey, everybody in Texas, vote for Ronnie Jackson, my friend, the best damn candidate out there. And we'll talk to you guys soon, all right?
Yeah, stay with us, Taco. Don't leave yet. We want to talk to you after the show. Everyone, from me, from in the Northern Studio here in upstate New York, I want to thank everyone for joining us on this Thursday night, letting us in your room and on your screens. Toby, anything from you in departing words, my friend?
No. I was going to touch on North Korea real fast, but I'm waiting to get more information. Yeah, I think that's going to be some developing entertainment. That
will. They may have their first female ever in charge of that country. Let's see what that's going to be like. But yeah, be sure and join us next Thursday. We already have guests lined up. We are racked and stacked thanks to Rob, our unpaid producer. And be sure and tune back here on Stu and the Nunn. So I think, let me bring it up here real quick. I was trying to bring it up. I think next April 30th of next week, and nothing's reacting. Okay. So, let you know, Toby, who we have coming up. I can't get it to come up quick enough.
My interwebs, they don't really work.
Yeah. No, mine really don't work. But anyways, join us next Thursday here on Stu and the Nunn, 8:00 Eastern, 7 Central.
Tried rebooting my computer.
And be sure and tune us in. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Taco, for joining us. And we will see you guys all next week.
Right.
Well, that wraps up another episode of the Stu and the Nunn Show, and we hope you had as much fun listening to it as we did hosting it for you. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. You can find all these links at stewandthenunn.com. We will talk to you again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Commodity Outdoors, Veteran Outdoors, Enlist 9 Fight Company, Warrior Media Solutions, and BooHammer.com. Thank you again, and have a good night.